Hi, my name is David Mellor and I'm the creator and course director of Audio Masterclass. Thank you so much for taking the time to register for this course tour. The purpose of today is to show you how Audio Masterclass works. If you have any questions during the tour, please send us an email at enrolments@audiomasterclass.com. A member of our enrolments team will give you a personal response. I hope you enjoy the course tour, and don't forget that you can enroll at any time at audiomasterclass.com/enroll. Here we go. What I'd like to do is give you a walkthrough of the Audio Masterclass Academy. So here's the login page. So this is where you'll enter your email address. That's our admin address. And the password, and submit. So this logs us into the homepage of the Audio Masterclass Academy. And what you'll see here is a list of all of our courses that we currently offer online and your status as a student on the course. So we can see that you're enrolled with assessments on the music production and sound engineering course. Not enrolled, not enrolled, not enrolled. You can be enrolled without assessment, so I don't have an example of that just at the moment. And you will get the enhancement content, and there's no assessment for that. That's just a bonus content that you get. So more details, information on certificates and video courses, and your student ID. This is useful, which you might use to try and get discounts on software or equipment. I can't guarantee that because it depends on individual suppliers, but many of our students have been able to use this and get discounts, which is good. Let's go back. So we've got a list of courses here, and everything's replicated over in this sidebar. So this sidebar can stay here all of the time, so you've got easy links to everything you could possibly need to get to. And if you don't like to see the sidebar while you're studying, you can hide that navigation there. Or we can show it back again. There we go. So let's go to the music production and sound engineering course. I could select it there, or I can select it here. I'll select it here, it doesn't matter which you do. So here we've got the 12 modules of the course going from 1 to 12, and also a module 0, which is an introduction to the course, which will tell you how to go about tackling the course and how it's going to progress and how you're going to complete it successfully. And you've got it in the sidebar as well. All of those modules are replicated there. So let's go to module 1, which is analog and digital audio. And this is the basics of audio that you need to know to be successful in pro audio. If you don't know this, you're not going to be successful. If you do know this, you've got your best chance. Every module has an introduction, which is just a welcome. And to be honest, you don't need to read it, but it doesn't hurt, and it only takes a minute or two. Let's go back to the list of modules, and you can get that from the trail of breadcrumbs here if you want. You can go home, back to the course, and back to the module. Okay, so there we've got a list of components. As you can see, we call these components. So every module has the same components. They've all got an introduction. They've all got knowledge. Not everyone has further knowledge, but where there's a lot of knowledge, there will be a further knowledge component. And we have a tutorial that's got audio examples, and then we've got an assignment, which is a practical project for you to carry out in your own home recording studio and send to us online for our assessment. And you can also read the assignment notes, which will tell you more about the assignment, and also, in many of the modules, give you examples of the assignment done well, the assignment done not so well, and often with examples of actual students' work. And it's going to show you how to do the assignment and get the best possible grade. Let's go to the knowledge section to start off with. Now, this is theory. It's important theory. And if you don't know this theory, then you don't have such a great chance of success. These are things that anyone working in pro audio needs to know. Let's look at sources of sound, for instance. So we've got the text and we've got clear diagrams which will tell you everything you need to know. It's everything you need to know, so it's not everything that you possibly could know, because there's a lot of information which really is deeper than you need, which isn't to say that it's irrelevant, but if it's too deep for your needs, it's going to take up your time and it's not going to get you on your path to success any more quickly. So this is the stuff that you do need to know. And you'll see here we've got next, and that will go to the next. These we call the topics, so components are built up from topics. So we go onto frequency there, and what you'll see down here is a mark completed button. So if you click that, This topic has now been marked as completed. Reload the page to update the sidebar. So I'll reload the page and we'll just see what happens. Aha, we've got a red tick just there, and that indicates that you've marked the topic complete. And in fact, when you've marked all of these topics complete, then you'll get a red tick next to the knowledge. And when you've marked all of the components complete, you'll get a red tick next to the module. And when you've marked all the modules complete, you've probably guessed it, you get a red tick next to the course title. This will help you keep track of what you've done, what you haven't done, and what you need to do to progress. Let's go to the tutorial component. So we'll go back to the module, and I'll go to the tutorial component. So this is where you get the audio examples. So all of the tutorials have audio examples. So let's look at this one, audio signals and waveforms. So that's just an introduction to that, and just a warning to lower your monitor level, because that is going to be essential for this topic, for this component. So what we'll see here are audio examples and descriptions of what you're listening to. So let's just listen to this one here, 1 kilohertz. Okay, that's enough of that. You know what that is. But it is important to be comfortable with all of this. And it's useful here that you can actually check the range of your hearing. So can you, for instance, hear 20 kilohertz? Probably not, but if you can, good luck to you. Can you hear 15 kilohertz? Possibly, if you're young enough. Can you hear 10 kilohertz? Okay. You can experiment with this once you're enrolled in the course. What you'll see here also is that you can download the media files. So all of these files here, all of these sine waves, you can download them. Okay, we can just see it there. I don't need to download that because I have it already. And this is important because you don't do audio in a web browser. You do it in your digital audio workstation software. So you really do need to be able to download these files so you can load them into your DAW and audition them in exactly the same way as when you're creating music. And you'll find that virtually everything is downloadable. There is a small amount of third-party content that we don't have a license for, but everything that we've produced here at Audio Masterclass, you can download. And where we've got video content, you can download that as well, so you can keep it forever. Let's go on to something else. Let's go on to phase, because that is quite interesting. So once again, we've got the download, and here we can compare in phase and out of phase. So let's just listen to that quickly. Okay, that's in phase. That's out of phase, and it should sound weird to you. If it doesn't sound weird to you, you need to listen more closely. But you'll be able to do that to your heart's content once you're enrolled in the course. You've downloaded the media files for this topic and loaded them into your DAW, and you're listening in exactly the same way as when you're creating music. So that's the tutorial. Let's go on to the assignment. So once again, we've got a learning outcomes, which tells you what's going to happen in this component. And this assignment is to make a simple demonstration of speech recording, which is more difficult than you might imagine because it brings out more of the faults. Speech is difficult to record because we're so used to hearing it. So when you hear a recording that's got faults, the faults really do stand out. So that describes what you need to do. And then we have the assessment criteria, which tells you what we're going to judge your work on. And then a clear statement of what you're expected to send us. Let's go on to the submission. And it's going to give you some instructions that you need to do. And you'll be submitting one file only. And it's telling you which file formats are acceptable. So you can send an AAC file with the extension M4A, a WAV file, but we don't want a zip file, AAC, MP3 or RAR. In fact, these three here, we never want to receive those files. They're just more professional ways of doing things. Some of the assignments do need a zip file submission if there's several items in the deliverables, but for this one, we just want the one audio file. So I'll just slide this over, and I have a test submission. So I'm going to do what it says and drag and drop the submission. And you can see a progress bar. And your submission has been uploaded to Audio Masterclass. And then the next thing is to send any additional information we've asked for. So what microphone you used? I used a Shure SM57. And that actually is a perfectly adequate microphone, and it will cost you less than $100 US. And then click the send comment, and it says your comment has been uploaded. And that's it. You've submitted your assignment, and you'll receive our assessment within 7 to 14 days. So here we have a sample assessment that you'll receive by email. And what we can see here is the grading system. And this is interesting because this represents what actually happens in the real world. So suppose you've done a really good piece of work and it's better than the client expected. Then you'll get first call status. And this is when the client has another piece of work they want doing, they'll call you first because you're so good. If you've done a good job, then you'll go to the client's contacts list and they'll contact you if the first call person isn't available. Professional means you've satisfied the client's expectations, and that is fine. There are people that are a little bit in advance of what you're doing, but you're doing good, solid professional work. If your work doesn't come up to standard, then we'll give you a needs improvement grade, and we'll tell you exactly what you need to do to improve your work, and you can resubmit if you want to. And the other grades, not professionally acceptable or no assessment. These rarely happen because we're giving you good advice in the module and in the assignment and the assignment notes. It's very rare that we receive work that isn't up to standard. So in this part of the assessment, we cover all the assessment points. So in this one, it's level, topping, acoustic noise, electronic noise, and we're giving you notes here. And we'll tailor these notes to your exact requirements if you've made any unusual errors. What else have we got? We've got ambience, popping, breath blasting, distortion. All of these things can go wrong in a recording of speech. Low frequency boost, close microphone position, which can cause a problem. It's not always a problem. Sibilance and the apparent microphone quality, because it's funny, but you can have, as I said earlier, a Shure SM57 that costs $100 or less, and it sounds fantastic and it's fully professional quality. Or someone can have a microphone that costs $1,000 and they haven't positioned it very well, various other things, and the end result isn't as good as we'd like it to be. And tailing, nothing unusual, that can sometimes happen. And in this case, this is just a sample assessment and the grade is first call. So we've got overall notes, overall grades, and that's it. That's your assessment. And if you need to, you can resubmit. So let's go back home again, and I'd like to tell you about certificates. Here's a picture of one of our students with his Audio Masterclass certificate, and he took that picture. So clearly he's very happy with what he received. Normally the certificate is delivered digitally and you can print it out, or it does cost a little bit extra. We can send you a paper copy and we can send that anywhere in the world. So that's it for your course. But there's one more thing, which is the enhancement content. So this is additional content that doesn't form part of your course and it isn't assessed and there are no assignments, but it's extra information that we would like to give you to use as you wish. So we have some ebooks, equipment and software. Equipping your home recording studio, that's our most popular. I can see that's an out-of-date cover. We have a new cover for that, so I need to get someone to deal with that. And you can download it, so you're not just reading it online, you're downloading it and you can keep it forever. But ebooks are one thing, but our multimedia sets are really quite another. So microphone comparison on female vocal. And you can download the media files. You can download all of the audio and all of the video, and you can load the audio into your digital audio workstation and you can listen to it as closely as you like. And you can view the video online. And this material, we shot this in Abbey Road Studio 3, so you can be sure that you're getting the best quality as possible. And this is a microphone comparison, and it's really interesting to listen to what different microphones sound like. So here we have, for instance, we have the Neumann U87, but this is the old version of the U87, and this is the more up-to-date version of the U87. So what we're finding out is, do they sound different? In fact, the level of their output definitely is different, but is the sound different? When you're on the course, you'll be able to hear for yourself. This one, it's a B&K 4011. B&K is now called DPA, so it's a different company name, but it's the same microphone. And this is a very clean microphone, so it's like listening to what this singer actually does sound like if you were standing there. This one here is the Neumann U47, which many people will say is the best microphone ever made. And we've got two examples of it. It's a vintage microphone, and over time you can expect the sound quality to change. So we can see how similar or how different two supposedly identical vintage microphones are of the same model. And here's the other one in a close-up. And we've got the great competitor for the Neumann U47, which is the AKG C12. That's another really, really classic microphone. And if you want to have one yourself, well, they're not made anymore, not the original vintage versions anyway, but you could be looking at somewhere up to $10,000 to buy that second-hand. It's a lot of money. So we've got that, and I'll just give you one more example, which is, let's do instrument recording techniques. Microphone technique for drums. Once again, you can download it all. And here we are again in Abbey Road Studio 3. We've got some that we did in Studio 2 as well, which is an interesting comparison because that's where the Beatles made many of their famous recordings. And this is really interesting because we've got the Neumann U47 again. And we did it with just one microphone in front of the kit. Then we did another test with one microphone above the kit. And these recordings sound really different. They sound really, really different. And one is fantastic. It's mono, but other than that, it's fantastic. And the other is, well, not so much. But you can listen for yourself. Then we've got the 2-mic configuration, then the 4-mic Glyn Johns configuration, and then the normal way that drums are recorded today, which is 1 mic for each drum, possibly a mic for the hi-hat, which we have done, and 2 mics for the overheads. And then we've got some additional photographs there. So there's material in depth here. We've got acoustic guitar, we've got electric guitar, we've got piano, and then we've got some more even 4 exotic microphones and 4 classic compressors on female vocal. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. That's your run-through of the course. So what I'd like you to do is just watch this all again and really, really consider enrolling with Audio Masterclass, because the course, it will help you develop your knowledge, skills, and experience. Oh, and by the way, it's not just the one course. We've got music production and sound engineering. That's the base level course, and that's our most popular course by a wide margin. But then we've got specialist courses, which we call our professional courses. So we've got equalization, compression, reverb and effects, MIDI synthesis and sampling, mixing. That's a popular course as well. And mastering. So you can start off covering everything that you need to a basic level in the music production and sound engineering course, and then you can go further and further and further and further. And for each course, when you've completed all of your assignments to a satisfactory standard, you'll get your Audio Masterclass certificate, one for each course. Okay, that's it. I'm David Mellor, Course Director of Audio Masterclass. I really, really appreciate you spending the time to watch this video, and I look forward to enrolling you in the course. Well, I hope you enjoyed your course tour, and I hope you'll send us any questions that you have. We'll get back to you same day or the next business day with our personal response. I'm David Mellor. Thank you for your interest in Audio Masterclass. You can enrol at any time at audiomasterclass.com/enroll.